Welcome to video 1 of 5 in your series, the VIP series. You've already had your 2-hour session, which is why you're watching this video now. And as a little review for what we did, and maybe not all of you did these things, but you will, we worked with the idea of the figure 8. We took the time on, let's just start doing that right now. And in this figure 8 exercise, as you recall, we just felt our feet flat on the floor at shoulder width apart. And then we just started swaying. It's like you're swaying to the music, right? And as you do that, consciously, as you sway and you shift the weight from your right to your left, consciously in your mind's eye as well as with your hip, creating a loop, so you're actually tracing a figure 8. Okay. Just take a moment and do that. You might want to close your eyes. Take a moment to feel that grounding with your feet. Take a moment to notice the flow of making that shape and thinking that shape. Really enjoy that. And notice how the body's responding to this. As we spoke earlier in our 2-hour session, the idea of working with energetics is so important, and to really be aware of where we truly are in our body and with our energy. Are we feeling really, wow, hyper and, I gotta go do this and get it done? Or are you feeling sleepy? Or are you just feeling, oh, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to practice? That's great too. But it's good to know that. And it's good to know, where am I feeling, okay, a little stiff? Or where am I holding? And knowing that you can breathe into that area. Know that you can make sounds and stretch, and really that's a part, just as much a part of your awakening process, your vocal awakening process, as the actual sound making. Okay, so super important. So just right now, as we're going into this together, really be aware of, okay, are there any places that I need to stretch and open to feel better? Okay, great. So today we're going to really spend some time waking up, getting a warm up together for you, so you can wake up the lips, the tongue, the vocal cords, the face, and really have an emphasis on that, and how to really warm up the vocal cords in a way where you can't strain or hurt them. In your 2-hour session, you may have done the motor mouth sound with me. We're going to review that a little bit in this first, and then we'll expand from that. So just take a moment, stretch out the face. We let this, it's amazing how many people I see who talk like this. It's very common in our culture to do a lot of holding in the jaw and to really hardly even use the lips. So you want to befriend this part. Your face, your lips, your communication zone, right? All that. Okay, and after you do that, remember when you were a kid, okay? If you didn't do the motor mouth sound with me, you're going to learn it right now. And it comes just from that place of play. Actually, go ahead and let your hands do that. It'll help you make the sound. You know, we made that sound a long time ago when we were kids. So once you've found that sound, and if you're having a hard time with it, stretch out the lips again. Another way to get that sound is to put a finger on either side of your lips, like this, and just lightly have them against each side of the mouth, and then try the sound then. Stretch again. Don't worry if you're having a little bit of a trouble, if it's sputtering or you feel a lot of times what happens is it's because there might be some collapsing going on, where you're too loose here and blowing too much breath. You'll notice when you start getting the sound that there's an engagement. The breath is pressurized at the lip. So you'll find that. Don't think too much about it. Just have fun and play. Okay, once you find that sound, the next step is bringing it to a scale. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to do that. And I'm going to pull up a chair. You can go ahead go ahead and pull up a chair as well. And I'm going to adjust the camera. There we go. And I'll bring it down a little bit more. Okay, great. So we're going to just warm up the voice here. And how we're going to do this is I will make the sound, make the exercise. I'll point to me, and then I will say and you'll go. And I'll play just the piano when it's your turn, okay? Always important to listen first. Let that information in first. How we develop our ears and to really be able to do the exercise well is to actually receive it. So a word that you heard probably in those 2 hours I spent with you was about receiving. We talked about receiving breath. We also have to receive the sound, the information, whether it's from within or something that's coming at us that we're collaborating with. Okay. So I'm first just going to do. I'm going to do that one more time. Your turn. And. Okay, again. And. Now I'm going to go. Your turn. Good. Now. Your turn. My turn. Your turn. My turn. Turn. Your turn. My turn. Your turn. Your turn. Your turn. My turn and your turn. Your turn. My turn. Your turn. Sometimes you lose your sputter, don't you? Okay. So there's something you can just use to go through your vocal cords, to go through your range, and to warm up the vocal cords in a way where you're not pressing or pushing. Pretty much I used, I went down, those of you who are musicians and know the notes, we went to a G below middle C. Okay? You can keep going on with that. You want, and so forth. Now, if that felt too low for you, obviously, if anything feels too low or too high, if you've tried it, it just doesn't feel comfortable, it's too low or too high for you at this time. Don't be discouraged by that. Just try it on. With this sound, it really makes the pitch is much more accessible than if you were thinking you have to go get that note. Which leads me to my next thing. Really important not to think of pitch being up or down. I'm going to say that again. You don't want to be thinking about going to get notes up there. If you were in this room with me right now, I can tell you right now, I can look up there. I am not seeing anything up there. And I'm not seeing anything down there. Really important not to think that way. Now, whether you're a speaker or you are a singer, it's really important to develop and strengthen your full range of voice. Your lower register, your mid register, and your high register. Every voice has a low, mid, and high register. For me, my low might take me down today. It's morning still, so I might be able to still get that E. Wow, I'm getting there low this morning. I probably wouldn't push myself much lower than that. So that goes into my lower register. Going into my mid register, I might do that's still in my low, and crossing into the beginning of my mid. So try this with me. We're going to start right here, and we're going to do that with me again. Here we do together. Then do try that with me. Now again here with me. Now then together with me. Then on and then on then 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 and we'll start right there and do let the breath come in. You'll notice I'm really allowing that breath to open my mouth and give space. I'm getting space everywhere. Space and energy lifting and opening inside my mouth. I'm feeling energy up behind my eyes. I'm feeling it lift up through my third eye, up through into my brain. Let's try that together. A nice received breath and then we can go to this. And one more. Now don't be too upset or freaked out if that just feels too high for you. Don't worry about it. And remember, if you have a lower voice, you can do it down the octave as well. We're just practicing now this idea of receiving breath. We talked about that during your 2 hours, and we're going to always be returning to that idea because it's the foundation of what we're doing here. Really important. So now I'm going to take it a step further and talk about bliss face, bliss breath. I want you to put your hands out in front of you as if you were just making an opening gesture of welcoming, and really feel this. Now you're in a seated position, so don't forget your feet flat on the floor, your sits bones anchored. Take a moment. I want you to just let yourself just slouch right now. Just let everything fall. Blah. Blah. Okay. Now I slowly want you to bring your attention to your sits bones and bring your attention to the base of your spine and slowly begin kind of flexing your buttocks muscles and slowly allowing yourself to feel yourself uncurl from your belly, consciously drawing up your energy, pulling up the pelvic floor, pulling up the sternum. Draw this up. Shoulder rolls back and around. Feel the difference. Slouch again. Anchor. Slowly draw and roll up. Ah. Join me. Ah. One more time. Ah. Again, right now I'm doing it more in the speak zone and in the low end of the mid into the lower register. We're going to take that a little higher now. So we'll do ah. The breath comes in through the mouth. I receive it. I let it open me, what I call bliss face. That reception, that receptive gesture that we were talking about in the beginning, having the hands out. Ah. Ah. So just try a series of that. Where are you in your voice right now? Where do you want to be? Maybe you want to be in ah. Ah. You might. If that's where you are, let yourself be there. Ah. 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 Shake it out. Shake out the shoulders. Let yourself collapse and roll down and then roll back up. Run the energy again. If things are getting too serious, too focused for you, shake, 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 shake. Check in. Where is your energy? Where is your energy right now? Do some running in place in your chair. And I'm just kind of chopping at the air here with my hands. Good. Okay. And these are things, I'm doing this, I'm taking you through an exercise and following my moment-to-moment impulses, okay? And that's exactly what I want you to do. So when you're working with this video at any time, something feels too high, you energetically need a little bit to bring a little more to the party, or you need to slow down or anchor it, do that. It's so important. Again, I want you to wake up to where is your energy, where is your voice, okay? Okay, so now we're going to do some work where we're going to, okay, so we're just going to do a little staccato. Try that with me. Here we go. And. Now come back down. Now I want to wake up the lips a little bit more by going through the consonants, and actually the plosives is what we're going to talk about here. So do that with me, and okay. With me, and see the pattern here? P to F to T to K 3 times. Right? So. Okay. Stretch it out again. Good. Good. Another thing that's important to be aware of is where you are. where you are with your breathing. A lot of times what happens, we talked about the receiving breath, and I've just demonstrated that. We just practiced what I call bliss face or bliss breath, opening it up like that. Now, you might have a question like, okay, well, I'm seeing you open your mouth. I'm seeing your eyes and your face kind of brighten up, but what should I be feeling in my body? Very good question. I'm glad you're thinking that. And if you're not, oh, a new thought. So the idea is, I talk about belly mouth, that's right. Because whatever's happening in your mouth, whatever you're allowing to happen and you're unfolding in your mouth to let the breath in, your belly responds. See if you can check this out with me. Now, if I'm becoming receptive, and as I open my mouth, I'm noticing this breath being drawn into me. Can you feel, just put your hand right on your belly, right on your belly. Can you feel how it wants to relax open as well? I also notice I want to kind of rock back onto my sits bones when I do that. Do you have that sensation? I feel myself anchor more on my sits bones. There's a feeling like, okay, I'm grounding. And remember, what are the three words again? We want to be thinking about the three qualities: grounding, lifting, and flowing. And I could add to that the gesture I just made, which is opening. That's another one that can always be a part of our mix. Grounding. So when I'm receiving this breath, you'll notice it's a silent breath. I just did a talk the other night, and I was demonstrating what most of the population believes to be a big breath. It looks like this. They go like this. It's a really loud breath. It's very dramatic. And what's wrong with this picture? My body just went into total constriction. My shoulders, you saw it, went up practically to my ears. My eyes bugged out of my head, and my throat and my neck and my shoulders, everything got very tight. Now, it stands to reason that if my body is really tight, how receptive can it be? And if it's really tight, how can my body expand? It's working against something very rigid. So a received breath is really an allowance. It's an allowing of the breath to come to you. Breath is life. So if we want a quality life, a quality breath would help. And how we think about it. So rather than taking breath, going to get breath, that puts us into a place of lack and panic, tension, constriction. Now, many times in a recording, maybe some of your favorite artists, I know I have consciously, as a songwriter and a recording artist, I have also chosen to have a breathy sound. And it wasn't a put on, it's what the song called for. Perhaps it was a more emotional song. I'm bringing this to your attention because as a speaker or a singer, there's going to be times you will use breath in a different way through the tone of your voice. For example, if you're speaking and you're on mic, right? You're on your mic and you're telling your story, and it's a very intimate moment. Can you feel how the energy just completely came down? It's very soft. If I'm singing, I might even choose to record having that breath being recorded so I hear it, speaking or singing. Hey, 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 hey. Ooh, ooh. Okay, you've heard that on the radio, on your favorite CD, many, many times. Again, with speaking, it can be used. But we want to be conscious how much breath is actually coming through. What is the breath-tone ratio when we're speaking, when we're actually letting that breath in to fuel our experience? So again, I want you to work with this idea of letting the breath come to you. A great natural way when we yawn, we don't think, okay, I'm going to yawn now, so I better open my mouth. I better let breath come in. We have an impulse to yawn, and then the breath just comes to us. It opens us up. It really just, our body responds to that impulse. Okay? And I want you to start playing with this idea this week. I want you to really, what's it like just, and not only, because of a yawn, not necessarily where, oh, I might be sleepy. Vocalize, all that. But if we're performing, if we're speaking or singing on stage, we don't want to be yawning. We just want to be getting our next breath in a way that's serving us, in a way that feels like, okay, I'm grounded, I'm lifted, and I'm in flow with what I'm doing. Whether I'm speaking to you or singing to you, oh, yeah, yeah. I just want to feel that. Okay, so now we're going to work with staccato and legato. Staccato and legato. So we're going to do, so B-U-P, bup. Try that, and keep that going with bup, bup, bup. We'll do the same thing, and this time legato, which will be like this. We'll do ba, ba, ba. Here we go. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba. Good. Now we're going to go back into moving more of the register. We're going to actually move through an octave again. Now that we're a little more warmed up, we'll do E, I, E. Try that with me. Nice receive breath first. E, I, E. Now as you sing through that, you're going to notice what's really important on that descending line when you're coming through that, when you're coming down through that, you want to make sure you don't sink. There's going to be a temptation to go, right? And you'll lose the notes that way. So as we're singing, here's a little trick. As you're working with descending notes, draw up your pelvic floor, draw up through your abdomen, draw up through your sternum, and imagine the notes being held. So we've got, we have E, O, right? So coming down, now let's play with that. Let's do ya, 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 ye. So we're adding a Y to it. Ya, 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 ye. Try that with me. Ya, 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 ye. We'll take a little more time for that receive breath now. Same thing. Ya, 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 ye. Let's keep that going now. Ya, 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 ye. Ya, 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 ye. Ya, 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 ye. Ya, ya,
that goes without saying. If you're a man, if you were a woman who is more of an alto, and that was too high for you, it's okay. You can do it down the octave. But do you feel the energy rush from that? Do you feel how much more open you feel in your voice? I know I'm feeling it. Yeah, this is my morning wake up here. Yeah, again, try it. Yo, yeah, yee. Do you see the gestures I'm making? If I want that feeling of openness inside of myself, I want to really animate it. I want to work with it. I want to feel congruent. I want to feel that integration in my body. So my feet are flat on the floor. And actually, I'm kind of dancing them around a little bit, honestly. I feel my sits bones anchored. I'm using that as a base, but I can always go into what? Figure 8. Yes, 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 yes. Shoulders rolling. Here we go. Shake it out. Yay. You had a good workout. Review it. Be with this information. Play with it. Make it your own. Feel good. Have fun. Do lots of breathing, singing, receiving breath. Receiving what you're wanting to learn, right? And have fun. Till next time. Bye-bye.